Caio Borralho horrified Scotland with this brutal knockout. The Brazilian fighter, born in São Luís, Maranhão, is not just any contender. He combines the precision of a striker with the strength of a grappler. With an unorthodox style nicknamed El Natural, Caio built his way on the regional circuit in Brazil. Then shined in Dana White's Contender series, and finally consolidated in the UFC. Their history is filled with knockouts, dominant victories, and a quiet but relentless rise. Today we will relive Caio Borralho's career, fight by fight, until we reach the moment when he horrified the Scottish public with a brutal ending. But before you continue, subscribe. Caio Borralho was born on January 16, 1993 in São Luís, Brazil. His entry into the world of professional MMA occurred in 2014, debuting on the regional circuit. His first fight was against Clayton Raphael, whom he defeated by technical knockout in the first round. That explosive start set the tone for his style: pressure, aggressiveness, and precision. In his second professional fight, he faced Juan Paulo dos Santos. This time, the fight lasted longer than expected, as his opponent showed resistance and looked for a constant clinch. However, Borralho wore him down with knees and ended up winning by unanimous decision. This victory gave him confidence that he could not only win fast, but also maintain a high pace for several rounds. Over the next few years, Borralho racked up victories alternating knockouts and submissions.
E caiu já com esse jab de esquerda, na sequência.
One of the most remembered on the Brazilian circuit was against Ronaldo Silva in 2018, where he connected a left-right combination that left his opponent reeling.
Defesa do Caio Borralho, preocupado com a mão direita, tem bons cruzados, o Otávio sagaz. Excelente.
Entrando muito forte na guarda e o direto está completando muito bem.
Tá, e olha a preocupação do Caio com essa excelente queda do Caio.
He finished him off on the ground with ground and pound for a second-round TKO. It was the fight that consolidated him as one of the most complete talents on the local scene.
Vencedor por finalização, guilhotina, Caio Borralho!
In 2019, Caio Borralho faced Fabio Aguiar, a grappler with extensive experience who represented until that moment the biggest challenge of his career. From the beginning of the fight, Borralho demonstrated remarkable tactical maturity.
Both athletes in the center immediately starts with that Muay Thai kick. Good, Borralho looking for that right movement. Good takedown by Caio Borralho. Looking for that turnaround. Already put him down. Good.
With precise movements and a clear reading of his opponent's plan, he intelligently avoided every takedown attempt, using his anti-key defense effectively and responding with uppercuts that punished Aguiar every time he tried to close the distance.
Caio close the distance. Good counter by Caio Borralho, immediately going for the legs. Another take. Icaro is in a bad place. He doesn't know what to do. He's in the second round for the first time. Full guard when he mounted, and that's the way it ended. You know, he could have turned that thing around.
The fight was intense with moments of pressure from the grappler. But Borralho stood his ground, thwarting his opponent's intentions again and again.
That he had to pay for everything that he did. He's going for that takedown. He has to get minutes to the end of the round. Wow. And he's down.
Perfect
Very
time. Did you
smart.
see?
Showing how good he is in all the aspects.
In the third round, taking advantage of a key moment, he managed to reverse the situation and got the knockdown that changed the course of the fight. From the dominant position, he placed himself on his opponent and began to unload a series of accurate, forceful elbows that forced the referee to stop the fight. That victory, achieved with strategy, control, and forcefulness, marked a turning point in his career. Borralho had not only overcome his biggest challenge to date, but he had done it with authority. And that triumph definitively placed him on the radar of the great promoters of MMA. With a positive record and solid performances, Borralho was called up to Dana White's Contender series in September 2021. His first fight was against Aaron Jeffrey, a strong opponent, known for his cardio and constant pressure. For 3 rounds, Borralho neutralized the attacks with timely takedowns and boxing on the counterpunch. Winning by unanimous decision. Although he did not receive a contract on that occasion, he made it clear that he belonged to another level. Weeks later, he returned to the Contender series, this time against Jesse Murray. There was no doubt. From the start, Caio pressed with straight punches and found a right hand that knocked Murray down in the first round.
Man, it's fast. Very quick, and Jess Murray got his degree. Murray missed now.
A few seconds of ground and pound were enough for the referee to stop the fight.
This is the elbows, and that is it. A second time around? My guess is yes.
Dana White signed it at that very moment. Borralho became a UFC fighter. His official debut came in April 2022. UFC Vegas 51, facing Gaji Omargadzhiev, an undefeated Russian with a reputation as a grappler.
You by Modelo. Listen, you a lot, put him on his heels. It's easier to defend takedowns when they're...
Borralho remained calm, defended takedown attempts, and punished with clean strike.
Takedown by Omargadzhiev. Now Borralho, he took that last 8 years. So if you can...
In the third round, an accidental illegal knee led to the stoppage of the fight. But when reviewing the scorecards, Caio was clearly winning.
Oh, again, third one. His hand was on the ground.
His debut was controversial, but he made it clear that he had the level to compete in the elite. In his second appearance in July 2022 against Armen Petrosyan, he encountered a dangerous and technical striker.
Look at that.
Borralho opted to impose grappling, pressing with takedowns and controlling the clinch.
Talk about speed. Oh, Borralho left cross. And now he goes takedown. And he made...
For 3 rounds, he wore down the Armenian and landed punches on the ground, taking the victory by unanimous decision. Although it was not a knockout, he showed that his strategy could be adapted according to the opponent. The challenge leveled up in October 2022, UFC 280, when he faced Mahmoud Muradov, an experienced opponent with knockout power. Caio looked smart, avoiding risky exchanges, taking the fight to the ground, and maintaining control for most of the fight.
Nechávat to takhle na rozhodčí, hlavně ve chvíli, kdy si Muradov představoval, teď dal všechnu sílu do toho, aby ze sebe soupeře.
After 3 rounds, he won again by unanimous decision. He was no longer just a prospect. He was cementing himself as a serious contender at middleweight. In April 2023 UFC Vegas 72, he faced Michał Oleksiejczuk. The Pole came out aggressive, throwing heavy punches, but Borralho resisted and counterattacked with a timely takedown.
O Caio chegando ali, na minha opinião, ele garante esse round.
In the second round, He took his back and closed a rear choke that forced his opponent to submit. It was his first submission in the UFC, confirming his versatility.
Vem pra finalização, passa o braço, não vai pegar, pegou!
At UFC São Paulo on November 4th, 2023, Abus Magomedov and Caio Borralho faced off in a fight that promised intensity from the start. Magomedov, with his explosive style and reach, came out in the first round trying to impose his boxing, throwing long combinations and measuring Borralho with the jab. However, Caio, fighting in front of his Brazilian crowd, was undeterred and worked calmly, using his constant pressure and strategic play to close the gaps. As the contest progressed, Borralho began to find his rhythm. Moving forward, he connected with combinations to the body and took advantage of any mistake by Magomedov to respond with powerful punches. The difference was noticeable in the resistance. While Abus lowered the intensity after the first round, Caio maintained the pressure, supported by the chants of the fans that drove him. In the third round, the fight clearly tilted in favor of the Brazilian. Borralho took the fight to the ground with a well-executed takedown, and from the dominant position, he worked patiently, landing punches and controlling Magomedov to prevent any escape attempts. That superiority in grappling ended up sealing their victory. At the end of the 3 rounds, the judges were unanimous. Caio Borralho. It was a major win for his career, cementing him as a serious contender in the division. The fight that catapulted him came in July 2024. UFC in Scotland, facing local idol Paul Craig. The Scot was a specialist in submissions, but Borralho came out determined to impose his striking.
The strikes up top. Operate on the ground.
The fight started with Craig trying to impose his fight and his takedowns, a usual strategy in his style. Borralho, however, was quick in defense, using footwork and straight shots to keep the distance. Each takedown attempt was thwarted with precise movements, and Caio took the opportunity to respond with combinations that made the Scotsman retreat.
And Paul has got 2 minutes to go round 1.
So you can just look at that. He just dives something he has to worry about on the opposite side.
The Brazilian's confidence grew second by second, and with each clean shot, the crowd fell into momentary silence.
Once he gets in there, close the gap and turn
before cheering on their local hero again. In the second round, the fight came to a head. Craig managed to take the fight to the ground, unleashing the euphoria of those present. But Borralho, far from panicking, showed impressive maturity. He defended calmly, reversed the position, and punished with short and precise elbows. That moment was key because the Brazilian made it clear that he could survive and even dominate in his opponent's most dangerous terrain, taking away his confidence and forcing him to rethink his strategy. With the audience expectant, the third round arrived. Borralho, knowing that it was his chance, increased the pressure. His body shots began to wear down Craig, and in an explosive exchange, he landed a precise left to the face that made the Scotsman shudder. With the opponent reeling, Caio advanced with fierce combinations until the referee was forced to stop the fight. The initial silence in the arena was sepulchral, broken seconds later by the Brazilian's roar of victory. The victory by technical knockout was not only another victory, it was the fight that catapulted him into the division, beating the local idol on his own land, under all the pressure and against expectations, gave Borralho an aura of a dangerous and legitimate contender. From his first fights in Brazil to the brutal knockout of Paul Craig in Scotland, Caio Borralho has shown steady growth, combining precise striking with dominant grappling. With an undefeated streak in the UFC and victories over increasingly tough opponents, he has become one of the most feared names in the middle division. His versatility and coolness make him an inevitable contender for the belt. Borralho's rise has been patient, but each win brings him closer to the top of the sport. Tell us, what did you think of the career of this great fighter? And let us know if you were as surprised as we were by their splendid knockout. Subscribe to like us and activate the bell to see more about these amazing UFC fighters.